Hello everyone, welcome to iLearning Digital class. My name is Steven, and I want to use this medium to appreciate people that have already subscribed to my channel for the likes, comments, and shares. I'm so grateful for that. So a few weeks ago on this channel, I started a project I call Student Results Management System. Student Results Management System. So that is the name of the project I started on this channel a few weeks ago. So if you've not yet seen my previous video, please kindly go and see my previous video. I've released about 6 videos about this project on my channel here. So please kindly go and watch some of my series concerning this project for you to be able to understand and follow along. So without wasting time, so we are going to move into today's project. So last time what I did on this concerning this project was that I explained to us on how we can save to our database. Don't forget we are using FIREBASE real-time database. Are you getting it now? So that is what we are using, FIREBASE real-time database. As you can see, real-time database for FIREBASE. So I explained to us on how you can save successfully to your database. So this is the last, this is what we save in our data, the students' results. This is what we save in our data. So today we are going to move forward, and before that time, please, if you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe now so that you'll be able to enjoy a lot of my project that I'm going to be releasing on this particular channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. So let's go into our project now. I'm going to log in. I'm going to log in now with this particular email address here. In second part of this video, I've explained to us how you can create FIREBASE authentication. So if you've not yet seen that video, kindly go and watch the video, and how you can do a loader like this. I explained all this thing thoroughly in my second and third video. So we are waiting for the application to log us in now. So as you can see, we are already in our application. The system has logged us into our application. So this is a create results. So this is a create results. So we are going to move today. I want to explain to us how you can retrieve your data from FIREBASE database. Did you get that now? What I mean is that when we click this edit button, we want to make sure that we retrieve the student data back to this place. You didn't get that now? So every of those data will save on our FIREBASE database. Immediately we click this edit button, we want to make sure that once the edit button is clicked, we are able to retrieve the student data from the FIREBASE. So without wasting time, let's quickly move into our text editor. But before that time, there is a little correction I really want to make concerning this save button here. As you can see, we the line of code we've written here is a little bit too much, because it look more or less like a repetition to me. You know, we get the variables here, and we also display the variables inside we set it inside our database. So there are the ways we can go about this that will reduce our code. Did you get that now? So that I want to make sure that we reduce the line of our code. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to come here. I'm going to copy all of this here. I'm going to cut it off and paste it inside this place. Just keep following along now. So I want to make a little correction here. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I will remove this out of this place. This constant database shouldn't be here, so I'm going to put that here. So I'm going to remove also this var here. I'm going to paste it inside this place. So the next thing we are going to do is that I will remove these variables here. I have to remove these variables here. So I just want to make sure that our line of code is merged, because we still have a lot of things to save in our database. We still have about 12 subjects to save in our database, so that the line of code will not be too much. So remove the variable here. I'm going to remove the variables here. Remove the variables here also. So come here and do the same thing for this. So the next thing we are going to do is that I have to remove this equals to sign here. I have to remove this equals to sign and change it to a colon here like this. So I don't need this pass integer here also. Let me remove it. I don't need this here. So let me remove the brackets here. let me copy this. I'm gonna paste this here. So let me do this first. I'm going to paste this here. I'm going to paste this here. So I'm going to paste this here also. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'll paste this here. So the next thing we have to do is that I have to remove this past here because it's of no use here. It's of no use. So I have to remove this also here. So let me do that very quickly now. So we are good to go now. You see, it looks if you notice now, our code is a little bit more smaller than the other one. So it's a little bit more smaller than the other one. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I will have to put a comma here. Don't forget that I will have to put a comma here. I have to put a comma here. Also put a comma here. So put a comma here, and the last one put a comma here. So as you can see, let me save now, and let's go into our application and let's see if there is no error. Let's cross check if there is no error. I'm going to reload here now. Don't forget, anytime you make a changes in your text editor, you must make sure you reload your application in the browser, just to make sure that you make your text editor is effective. So don't forget that, it's very, very important. So we are in our application now. Let me clear this out. Let me clear this out for us to be able to get the accurate response in our console here. And let's move into our create results. Let's move into our create results here. Okay. So let's move into our create results. So let me close this. So let's put a student name here. Let's try Kelvin Doe. Kelvin Doe. So let's input a number here. Let's say 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, and 6. Click the enter button. So let's come down here and click the save now. Let's see if everything is working fine. So we should get a response here that our data is saved successfully if everything works fine. Now, as you can see, we get a response. You see there is no error, saved successfully. Now let's go into our database and confirm if indeed what we save is inside our database. Let me cross check it now. As you can see, Kevin Doe, the name of the student we saved the other time. Did you see that now? So this is the name of the student, Kevin Doe. The data here is saved successfully. Everything works fine. You see now, everything works fine. So now let's go into our text editor and let's create a function for the saved. We want to retrieve our data now. So retrieve saved data. Receive saved data from Firebase. So that's what we want to do. So let's go into our index.html and let's go and grab the edit button. Let's go and get the edit button ID. This is it here, the edit button. So you can just do that by pressing Ctrl F and input the ID here that you're looking for, just to make it faster. So you copy here, then we come here. So we want to make sure we get the elements. Say variable is equals to, you can say variable edit button. Variable edit button is equals to documents dot get elements by ID. And what is the ID we want to get? The ID we want to get is the edit button. Did you see that now? That's ID we want to get. So we want to add a function now to our edit button now. Edit button dot add event listener. Edit button dot add event listener. So we're gonna say click. We're gonna say click. That is, we want to give it a function that anytime this button is clicked, we want these following functions to be performed. So that's the essence of add event listener here. So let's console.log to cross check if everything is working fine. Console.log edit button is working. So let's save now let's save, and let's go into our browser once again to cross check if our edit button is working fine. Let's cross check that if our edit button is working fine. So let me move up, and I'm going to reload once again. So now we are let's go into create results. So let me clear our console here, and let me move down to this place and click the edit button. You see, edit button is working, so everything is working fine. As you can see now, everything is working fine. Our edit button is working. So let's proceed now. So we have to clear this out. We don't need the console.log again, since we've been able to verify that our edit button is working. So the next thing we have to do is that we have to come here and copy this something here. We have to copy the student name, copy the database, and copy the user. So once we do that, we paste this, we paste those three things we copy inside our edit button function. Did you get that now? So we want to make sure that we will make use of this student name, we will make use of this database, and make use of this user. So the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to say constant key is equals to, I'm gonna have user, say user / give it a plus, then we have user again, give it a plus, and give a /, then we'll say plus student's name. So don't worry, I'm going to explain this in a second now. The essence of why I'm doing this, you're going to understand now. So we're going to say database dot ref, then we pass that key as a parameter here. I'm going to say key, I'm going to say dot once, then pass a value inside this place. I'm going to say value. Then the next thing we're going to do is that write a snapshot. Just keep following along. I'm going to explain what I'm doing now. I'm going to say snapshots. Then we give an arrow function here. Give an arrow function here. Then the next thing we're going to say is that we'll say constant data is equals to snap. I'm going to say snapshot.value. Snapshot.value. Then we console. Let's console.log. Console.log data now for us to see. So what I'm trying to do here is that, let me explain to us now, is that now I try to get the student name for us to be able to use it here. You don't get it now. I try to get the variable for the student name here. This for database also, I try to copy it from our saved function. I paste that here. So the next thing I do is that I try to pass this location. You know, we have this user here and the ID, and together with the student name, I pass it inside this key here. So I now said database.reference. Now what does this reference simply mean is that this reference simply means that our data that we want to try to get is located inside this place. Are you getting it now? That is, for us to be able to get our data out of database, the reference, this is the arrangement from this user here down to the ID, then down to the student name. Did you get that simple explanation now? So that is what we are trying to do here. That's the essence of this reference here. So I save this reference, this tree here, inside this key, and I pass it as a parameter here. So the meaning of this snapshot is that this snapshot simply means we are trying to get the value of what we've saved in our database. Did you get that now? So that's what we are trying to get. That is, every data in our database is the meaning of this snapshot here. So I pass the snapshot.value here into this data. So I now console.log data here. So let's cross check if we will be able to get our data here. Now let me save here and go into our browser now to cross check it. So let me come up here. Let me come up here and reload. You have to reload again. So we want to cross check if everything is working fine. We want to cross check that. So let me clear the console here for us to be able to see. And let's go into our create results. Let's go into create results. Let me close this up here. So let's say the student name we want to get now is Kevin Doe. That is the name of the student we saved the other time, Kevin Doe. So let's move down into our edit button to cross check it. Let me click on the edit button, and we are waiting for the data here to display. That's what we are waiting for now. You see, we are able to get all the data. Do you see now? We are able to get all the data pertaining to Kevin Doe. Now let's go and cross check if indeed is correct. We have English cumulative, ENG cumulative to be 84. Let's go and check that in our database now. You see ENG cumulative to be 84. You see ENG exam 66. Let's go and cross check that here again. ENG exam 66. You see now the data is accurate. So we've been able to get every data pertaining to Kevin Doe. You see now pertaining to Kevin Doe in our console here. Okay, let's try if we are going to get John Doe now out from our database. So John Doe, let's see, let me see if we're able to get that out. Now let me clear the console out here once again, and let me click the edit. So as you can see again, we've been able to get the results for John Doe in our database. Do you see that now? So I'm able to get this because the ID I'm using here, take note of that, it's very, very important. The ID I'm using here matches my details, my email and password that I used to log in. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Don't forget, in the last video I told us that anytime we sign up our email address in Firebase, Firebase is going to give us a unique ID. And so the unique ID, for us to be able to retrieve our data, that unique ID, this unique ID must matches my email address. Did you get that simple explanation now? So the reason why I'm able to get those data out was that this particular unique ID matches my email address. So that's why I'm able to get John Doe, and that's why I'm able to get Kevin Doe. Did you get it now? So the next thing we are going to do is that now we want to make sure that we get this data in our result here. Did you get it now? That's the next thing we want to do now. So for us to do that, we just need some, a simple line of code here. So let me leave the console.log data here, and let me move forward. The next thing we're going to do is that I will have to copy inside this place. I will copy this now. Copy document.getElements by ID for English test 1 to make it faster here. So I'm going to come here and paste this here. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to say .inner HTML is equals to data dot. You're going to say eng test1 eng test1. Now what I'm trying to do is that now I'm trying to display the data inside this place. Let me show us here. Now this is the eng test1 here. This is the value here for eng test1. Are you getting it now? So I want to try to, anytime the edit button is clicked, I want to send the value of eng test1 back to this place, so that in case if there is any, if you want to make any edits or you want to retrieve a student's results, are you getting what I'm saying now? So you can be able to do that. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So let's go back into our text editor and let's go and get the test2 once again. Now let's come here and copy this. Let me come here and copy this now for us to be able to do that. So let me copy this test2 here and come down here and paste this to those place. So we're gonna do the same thing. .inner HTML is equals to data dot. Now where are we getting this data from? We are getting this data from here. Did you see that now? So don't be confused. We are getting this data dot eng test1 data dot. We are getting that data from this place. Did you get it now? So the next thing we are going to do is that we're gonna say eng, gonna say test 2 eng test 2. Let me copy this. So I'm going to speed up the video now. I'm going to speed it up. So when I come back, I'm going to explain what I've just done. So we're gonna put HTML is equals to data. I'm gonna say data dot English cumulative eng cumulative here. So the last one we have to get here is we have to come to this place and copy this from here. English to that's the last one. So we'll come down here, we'll paste this. We're gonna say dot inner HTML is equals to data dot English English total. So then we have to give a response here. That is, if we are able to successfully retrieve this data here, we want to get the following response. So we're gonna say .then. We're gonna say .then function. We're gonna put a function here. Then put a function here. So what is the response we want to get for now? The response we want to get, we're gonna say console. We have to put a console.log. Then console.log, we're gonna say data successfully retrieved. Data successfully retrieved. So let's save that now and let's go and try this out in our browser here. So we have to reload once again. Let's check that. We have to reload once again. So we are already in our application now. So we want to cross check if what we did the other time. Let's see if we'll be able to retrieve the student data out. So let me close this here now, and let me say the student data I want to retrieve is John Doe. So let's say John Doe, and let me come down here and click the edit button. So let me click the edit button. If we've been able to retrieve the data, so we are waiting for a response here. So as you can see, we are able to retrieve the student data out here, but in the total here we are getting undefined. So I'm going to go and check where the error is coming from now. But we are able to get the test 1, we are able to get the test 2, we are able to get the assignment, the exam here. But this total here, I'm getting undefined. Let me go and cross check where that is coming from. Let me go and cross check that. The English total, we have the data dot English total. Let me cross check that where that is coming from. ENG total. That's a mistake here. You see, we are the value we are getting as ENG total. So here should be ENG total, not English total here like this. This should be the correct one here. Let me save and come back into our browser here once again. Let me reload that for us to be able to see if we'll be able to get our total data out from this place. So let me clear the console out and let's come into the create results here. So let me close this out. So let's get John Doe again, or this time you can see John Doe. So let's come down here and click the edit button. So waiting for the response. So as you can see, everything is working perfectly well. We are able to get the test 1, we are able to get the test 2. So we can click the enter button for the color to display once again. So you see now we are able to get every of our student data correctly from our database. Hope you understand that now. Okay, let's try Kevin Doe. Let's see if we're able to get Kevin Doe this time. Let's say Kevin Doe. So the name must matches the name in our database. It's very, very important. So the name must matches the name we save in our database. If not, we'll be getting an error. So let me come down here and let me click on edit this time again. So let's see. You see now we are able to get Kevin Doe out. Did you see that now? So we will be able to retrieve the student data from our database. So let me do the brief explanation of what I've done today. So what I did was that I make sure I go into our index.html to get the edit button. I assigned a function to it. Did you get it now? So I assigned a function to our edit button, and I make sure that I copy the student name, the database, the user from our saved function. Did you get it now? So I come inside this place. I said constant key is equals to, that is, I make sure I pass this user, the ID here, and the student name. I pass inside this key here, and I make a reference to it here. And I make sure that this snapshot I explained the other time, that simply means that the data we are getting out from our Firebase. So I save it inside this data here. Are you getting it now? So I make sure that I get the document get anywhere by ID English test 1 dot inner HTML is equal to data dot eng text 1. So for us to be able to display the data we are getting out from our database. So we've come to the end of today's video. So in my next video, I'm going to be explaining to us how you can delete from database. Are you getting it now? On how you can delete, and I'm going to be explaining to us on how you can create a custom alert function in database, because we want to make sure that anytime our data is saved or our data is we retrieve our data. Are you getting what I'm saying now? We want to make sure that we don't want to get the data alone, the response alone from our console. We want to display the response so that the user will be able to see the response. Did you get it now? So I'm going to explain to us on how you can delete from our database any student name from our database, and how you can create a custom alert function in our database. So before I leave, if you've not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe for you to be able to enjoy a lot of my projects on this channel. So thanks for watching. See you in my next video.